I think you can't personalize a conversation that you didn't have. So the 24 conversations you did not have trying to get one person on the phone were not particularly personalized. They were just wasted research. So researching somebody so as not to talk with them, which is the standard. I mean, this is taught by people. It's like research for 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 years, whatever, before you approach somebody. It's like, well, you're not going to talk to them 24 out of 24, 25 times. So what happens to all that research? Well, you got to go back and do it again, unless you're some kind of weird genius who can remember everything you ever learned about everybody, in which case you may as well just make a list, learn it all, and commit it to memory, and then use connect and saw, right? What's funny about it is personalization starts with the word person. You're a person to another person when they hear your voice. And that's 100% of the time. They have no choice but to hear you as another human being. It's actually one of the most developed capabilities we have in our brains is to listen to somebody else's voice. And we decide whether we are going to give them a moment. We decide that in about half a second. And then we decide whether we trust them or not in 7 seconds. And it has absolutely nothing to do with what they know about us, other than that we're human and that they ambushed us. The salient thing you need to know about a cold conversation is this person made a mistake. They answered the phone, and it's you. You are the problem. And once you recognize you are the problem, you're completely in control. That's the research that you need to do, is the research about the psychology of being the problem. It's not about them, like, do they own a dog? Do they live down here in the desert? Were they at their job for 37 years? What is their company trying to accomplish? Blah, 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 blah. All that stuff means nothing in the first 7 seconds because you can't talk about it in the first 7 seconds. And as Chris Voss taught me one night over dinner, I asked him, how long do we have to get trust in a cold call? This is Chris Voss, who, his job was selling 20-year jail sentences to hostage takers. Okay. That's tough. That's a tough sales job. Anybody thinks they know more about sales than Chris Voss, go do a little hostage work and come back and tell us how it went, how many people died. So I asked him, how long do we have to get trust in a cold call? He says 7 seconds. I said, really? Because our research says 8 seconds. And he says, your research is wrong. It's 7 seconds. And by that, he meant after 7 seconds, you don't have a chance. You're done. If you didn't get somebody to trust you as a human being in 7 seconds, you're toast. So there's your problem. And I asked him, well, what do we have to do? He said, oh, that's easy. I thought, man, this guy's out of his mind, right? I'm checking, like, is that his third bourbon? And I said, well, what do you have to do? He says, oh, it's easy. All you have to do is show the other person you see the world through their eyes. We call it tactical empathy. And then we need to demonstrate to them that we're competent to solve a problem they have right now. And I said, well, isn't the problem they have right now me? And he said, yeah, bingo, that's easy. That's why it's easy. Because 100% of the time you are the problem. And therefore, you are competent to solve the problem they have right now, which is getting off this phone call with their self-image intact. That's their problem.